Simply Tammy.
It's a blessing that I'm here, I'm alive. No, I never ever have to cry, cause it's something I know will always work for me on my side. Not a thing I even have to fight, All things work together for my good. Life speaks if you listen, it might be sound. Watch the love come alive. Sharing the truth that inspires, Sharing the truth that inspires, Sharing the truth that inspires. All things work together for my good. Life speaks if you listen, it might be sound. Watch the joy come alive, watch the joy come alive. Sharing the truth that inspires.
Inspired to love, inspired to grow, inspired to heal, inspired to live. Simply Tammy.
Hello and welcome back for another episode of the Simply Tammy Show. You're in store for another Life Speaks segment where we invite guests in to share stories of God's divine providence in their life. And I love sitting down with some amazing people and learning more about their story and introducing them to you. And I have one of Greenville's finest. She's not originally from Greenville, but we'll learn a little bit more about that. But she is making some amazing things happen in the upstate of South Carolina. So for her to take time to sit down with me tonight, I am extremely honored. So without further ado, help me welcome to the Simply Tammy Show, Tracie Blue.
Hey.
How are you?
Listen, blessed by the best.
Yes.
Blessed by the best.
Yes. So thank you so much for saying yes, because I know your schedule is never not full, I'm sure. But for you to carve out time to come speak to me tonight and encourage those that are going to be watching, I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So let's jump right into it.
Okay.
So we're going to get into your bio and all of these amazing things that you are doing and all of these businesses you have began and are overseeing. But if I didn't have this bio in front of me, who would you say that Tracie is?
Man. So, of course, I'm not prepared for that. However, humility makes us dummy down so much, but I am Tracie J, the BuildHERologist.
Yes.
So, of course, I'm a daughter of the Lord first, I'm a mom second, a mom to 5 amazing kids, and got a grandbaby. So,
and you don't look a day over 30 with a grandbaby.
I feel it. I may not look it, but I feel it. Matter of fact, I was on the way here and tripped, almost falling down the steps. And I told the young lady that helps me around the house, I told her, listen, you 44 when you trip and it's nothing for you to trip on, right?
Just your body just trying to be
right, just off balance, right? Just for no reason. So I'm from Albany, Georgia, originally. We've been here maybe about 12 years now. Okay. 12, maybe 13 years.
Okay.
Transitioned here from ministry.
Okay.
And still doing ministry in my different capacity now.
Okay.
Recently divorced.
Okay.
But doing business, ministry, and the BuildHERologist. So I build women from the inside out. That is what I do. I would say that's my brand, but that's what I do. That's the core of who I am, is building women. I'm a teacher. Okay. So I'm going to teach and I'm going to build and I'm going to empower. So I'm known as the BuildHERologist.
Okay, the BuildHERologist. So
Yes.
Before we get into some of your accomplishments and talking more about that, being from the big city of Albany.
Albany.
Albany, you say?
It's Albany. Albany is in New York.
Okay.
Albany is in Georgia.
Okay. Albany.
Yes.
What did little Tracie dream of?
Little Tracie dreamed of being, it's so funny. I wanted to be a teacher because my mom was a teacher. Okay. I wanted to be a police officer because my dad was a police officer. I never really thought about nursing at the time, and healthcare at the time. Of course, that's what I am now. But the core of who I wanted to be, which was a teacher, I'm that. You know, so of course I teach adjunct at Claflin University in the nursing department. But and I have my own curriculums and programs. But I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a singer. I was really big in performing arts, singing, dancing, poetry, played 3 instruments.
Really?
So really kind of, you know, spoken word. Yeah. So I've always kind of done that naturally anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought I was going to be everything.
Oh, wow. Okay, no
When I was a
limitations.
little girl.
No limitations.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. I love it. So you said your purpose pretty much is to build women from the inside out. How did you discover that that's what you were supposed to be doing?
I'm gonna tell you, and it's crazy because I was having a conversation with another friend of mine, and we was talking. I can't remember what we were talking about, but I remember her saying, "Man, you just." If nothing else, you build women. You know, you build women, and she's like, you're like a builder of women.
Yeah.
You know, and I prayed about that, and Holy Spirit released to me the BuildHERologist. So I focus on teaching and implementing strategy, technique, transformational coaching, you know, programs and curriculums built around building women from the inside out. And we're building all areas of their lives. So whether that's relationship, family, business, ministry, whatever that is, whatever that purpose is for them, helping them to identify it. That's 90% of most people's problem anyway. They don't know what their purpose is. They know what their passion is, but they don't know what their purpose is. So helping them to identify that and setting up systems and processes, you know, even on a personal level to help them get there. So that's what we do.
So I know from being a woman myself, having worked with women in women's ministry, like you said, it comes to a point where, first of all, we have to kind of move through all the mess that life has thrown at us to get to a point of discovering that there is a purpose for our lives before we even move into connecting with someone like you to help us get to that point. What was Tracie's process of becoming to the point where she knew, now I have something to give back to others? What did you...
You know, honestly, just being fully transparent, I don't think I've ever reached the point of arriving enough to feel like I have a lot to give.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I kind of, I don't know, and that may be imposter syndrome because, you know, we struggle with that, you know what I mean? But I really focus on just kind of guiding, you know what I mean? But it's so many layers to that. Just to answer your question, it is so many layers to that. Being a younger mom, I wasn't a young mom, but I was a younger mom in college. I had 2 babies while I was a student at FAMU. You know, so trying to juggle that, trying to, you know, work, trying to be a student, you know, so getting it out of the mud, you know what I mean? Regarding entrepreneurship, never seeing it, knowing that there's a grace and knowing there's something more and having the zeal to do it, the creativity to do it, but not really having an example or a push. To do it, you know what I mean? I'm from the generation and the school of go to school, get a degree, make sure you get a degree in something you can get a job in, right? And then get a job, and you work and you take care of your family. So I didn't really have, you know, that piece of it. So still getting it out of mud there, you know what I'm saying? So, but there has just really been a lot of layers. My book talks about my nursing school experience. It talks about that a little bit. It doesn't talk about it too in depth, but the big picture is I would not be the entrepreneur that I am had not I failed nursing school. So I had to fail, you know, to move forward in the things of God, the things that he, you know, purposed and called me to do, you know, so I failed my way into it, right? Yeah.
And I'm pulling out the book because I underlined that when I was reading. It was a statement you made about failure, and I don't know why I didn't put the thing on that page. I'm trying to see if I can find my underline, but it was essentially like saying failure was necessary for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Is what. So can you talk about that a little bit? In your process of being who we know today, why was failure necessary? Hey, just for a moment, I wanted to interrupt you. So no, the video has not messed up. This is an intentional interruption. Just for me first to say thank you, because if you've gotten to this point, that means you're still watching this interview, and hopefully you're hearing some things that are helping you, encouraging you, inspiring you. But I thank you for taking the time to listen, to get to know some of these amazing people, and to be encouraged and inspired by their stories. Second of all, I want to give you an opportunity to partner with me. If there is something that you think you can offer to this platform, either hands-on if you're local to the Greenville area, if you know some guests that you think I should interview, or if you see the transitions that we've gone through from when I started with Women Who Win and now doing this in my own space, and you say, I want to support that vision, I want to give to it, we welcome any type of support that you have to give. We also are going to have opportunities for organizations and businesses. You don't have to be local to Greenville, but we can spotlight you during our show segments. If any of that sounds interesting to you and you want to participate, shoot me an email. I'm going to put the email address on the screen, and I want to give you all of the information on how you can partner and connect so that we can keep bringing these people before you, sharing their amazing stories, offering them a safe space to share their journeys, and to also help encourage you along yours. So thank you again for listening, and now back to this interview.
I think failure is necessary anyway for anybody that plans on really becoming anything, because the enemy does not stop attacking. And if you never get used to fighting, if you never get used to having to overcome, you never get used to having to, stick through some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Or have challenges, if you never get used to that or ever experience that, then when the time comes, you fold, right? So it's just like working out, you know what I'm saying? You got to work out, and you're tired at first, and you get weak and you start aching, but you got to keep going. You got to keep going.
Yes.
So failure for me, and for anybody, I believe, is necessary, because some stuff you just gotta feel.
Yeah.
It's almost like that mom, that bird that pushes her babies out of the nest. You want them to fly. You hope they fly.
Right.
But if they don't fly, they're gonna feel that ground. And next time, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll flap.
Yes.
So I think though, what if I could, I wouldn't change anything, but if I could do something a little bit different and make any adjustments, I would allow my children to fail more. I have, and it's natural. We all do it, especially this generation.
Protect them from what you went through.
Yeah. But sometimes we can protect them to death. Not death as in life, but death of maturity. Death of them being able to, critically think. You know what I mean?
Right.
The death of them, being able to deal with challenges well, knowing that you got to work and that it's not going to be given to you, and, knowing what to do and when someone tells you no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, how to deal with rejection.
So I think I did a little bit of overprotecting and didn't allow them to feel a lot, and so much so they're feeling it now. But I think they understand and they process it better. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So failure was necessary for me. And like I said, I just would not be. Yeah. I wouldn't be. If I had have passed nursing school in 2009, I would be a floor nurse right now at Phoebe Putney Memorial Hospital. I know I would. I was working there as a unit secretary, and that was my goal. Career-wise, that was my goal. That's what I'll be doing. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right. And nurses are, they live great lives economically, But there was more for me. Yeah. So the Lord allowed me to fail that test by 1 point. Oh, man. Girl, it was like he snatched my soul. You hear me? I was mad with God about that thing. I was mad with God. And I said I was not going back to school. I was not, putting my all into it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I still remember that feeling. Like when I think about it, I still feel the feeling. You know what I'm saying? In my heart.
Of when you saw those results.
Oh, man. And fighting through that and not having an advocate, because I was student of the year. Student of the year, man, number 5 in the state. Right? But God was saying, not yet. I got something better. Got something better. You just hold out. I got something better. And I didn't see it then. I didn't want to see it then.
Right.
And honestly, I don't know that I would have chosen this if I had have known. You know what I mean? It's like, because you don't know.
Absolutely.
You don't know.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know that I would have had the faith walk. To say, okay, well, it's okay. I don't have to have it now. I'll wait. It's going to be something more. It's going to be something better. No, I was mad. I was angry with God. I was, because I was so dedicated. I remember having my baby boy. I had him on in 2006, I had him on planned his induction on a Friday. So I could be back in class on Monday.
No, you didn't.
Now, I had a setback, and I was back in the hospital that next week, Friday, about to stroke out. Blood pressure was out the roof. But that's how dedicated I was to that program. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And the Lord said, okay, I'm going to give you this. And then it's going to be by 1 point.
Yeah. So each time you took it, was it always one?
No. The first time I took it was 8:15. You have to have 8:50.
Okay.
8:15, 8:37, 8:49. You can only take it 3 times. And in Georgia, well, really most places, if you fail a nursing program, you can't go anywhere else. Or some programs will say, well, you can wait 5 years kind of thing. But I was like, I'm not going back. I'm not doing this again.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Not knowing
that God had a whole nother situation set up for you.
Yeah, so I ended up getting my RN, my ADN, my associates, because that was an associate's program at the time. I got my LPN first. So that was in 2011 when we moved here. I just remember, new scenery, new environment. I said, let's just see what South Carolina says. Let me just see, let me just see. So I remember calling the board of nursing and explaining my situation. And the young lady said, well, here, you can't take you have to have a degree. You have to finish the actual program. She says, but we do have an LPN by equivalency. So if you finish so much of an RN program, you can just test out for the LPN license. And that's what I did, passed on the first time. And I was working as a LPN in the nursing home and doing my thing. And that's where it started. And I was actually very happy with that, I'm a nurse, you know what I'm saying? So I remember working with a young lady, another coworker, and she was telling us about this new job she had gotten, this little side hustle, doing assessments for $25 kind of thing, and it only takes her 10 minutes. And I went filling out the application, got the job, was getting ready to sign the contract. And I tell people I try not to sound hyper spiritual, but it was almost audible. I heard the Holy Spirit say, call that company, call Humana directly and ask what they're paying that company, because Humana is who that company was contracted with. And I'm like, Lord, do what? Call them and say what?
Right.
Where am I calling? Humana.
Is the number on this contract?
Right. What? So I Googled, and first time around, I came up on the program in the recruiting department. Got a young lady out of New York, Cecilia, still friends with her now. And I remember calling and saying, listen, and just how I'm talking to you right now, maybe a little bit more country. I said, this finna sound real crazy, but I just want to know. I just got this job, and I just want to know. They're only paying us, they're paying us $25, to do these assessments, which is really good money for LPN. I said, but I'm just interested to know, what are y'all paying them? And she laughed. She just laughed at the audacity. She laughed at my accent. She's in New York, right? So she just, just the gall of it all. She's having a blast laughing at me. And then she says, well, I can't tell you what we're paying them. She said, but I can tell you that you can work for us directly. contract with us directly. You don't have to contract through another company. And but now if you sign the contract, it's too late.
Right.
I said I hadn't signed it because the Holy Spirit said don't sign it. They call you first.
Yes.
You know, so
Right.
and she said, okay, well, give me your information. She sent over the contract, and that's where it started. And just to see the magnitude of it, for what they was paying $25, Humana was paying $325 directly per patient per month. So needless to say, I think I might have hit 6 figures almost that first month.
Right.
You know, as an LPN. A couple months later, I called her back and I was like, listen, see, what if I want to do a company? You know, because I make friends. You know, that's how you, I make friends. You know what I'm saying? I make friends. So I called her and I asked her, like, well, what if I want to, you know, hire people like that company was doing? You know, she said, well, send me your company name and your EIN. I was like, whoa, I ain't got all that yet, right? So she told me what to do, and I did it, and I said, give me a couple of days. And I emailed her back, and I called her, hey, I just sent you my information. She sent me my contract over. The rest is history. Within about 3 months, I had over 50 nurses, LPNs, RNs, and social workers over the entire state of South Carolina.
Wow.
Working for the LPN at Field Nursing School.
Wow.
Yeah, we was killing it.
So where did that drive come from? Like, because you said, you know, had you passed that test, you would have been comfortable. You would have still been a floor nurse to this day. But something in you said, oh, I can do this, so then now let me do this. Do you feel like that was always there, or is just something sparked in you when you got in a different environment and saw the possibilities?
I think that it was there, but it was dormant. You know what I mean? And progress activated it.
Okay.
That's what I feel like,
Okay.
you know, just to answer that in its simplest form. So my dad is kind of that go get it. Like, he was before he passed away, he was extremely smart, extremely smart, you know, and he was just a go-getter. He went from being the back boy to being the general manager of the store in Piggly Wiggly, the first black manager in Georgia for Piggly Wiggly within a year. Within a year.
Wow.
1 year from bagging
wow.
to running the store in 1 year. So, and making history. So, it's always been innate in me, but it was dormant, you know, and I think progress is what activated it, you know, and unfortunately, most people get stuck with the fear of moving forward that they never get to experience the progress.
That's good.
They never get to experience the push of progress, you know, because they just have that fear of even trying, that fear of even stepping out on faith. So that's one of the things that we talk about in the BuildHERologist curriculum. So.
Yeah. So other than the initial setback with your nursing program, to get to the place where you started your first business and now you have, is it 4 or 5 businesses?
Listen, don't make me do that.
I mean,
it's so many.
I see HSSC Home Care, All Hearts Home Care, H&M Labs Clinics, Blue Realty and Associates, 360 Realty Group, Oakland Avenue Property Group, Blueprint Learning Institute. And
that's the bulk of the functional ones that, you know, have true streams, because everything we think is a stream is not a stream. Okay, it could be a drain.
I know. I know.
So we're working on turning some of those drains into streams, but yes. those are the main, the primary ones.
So then what would you say were some of the pain points and hurdles you had to go through, or things that may have happened where you were ready to hang up your purse and go somewhere and sit down and be like, God, I ain't doing this no more?
That's every day. That's every day. Listen. That's every day.
You quit every day?
Especially when it's time to pay them payroll taxes. I'm telling you, so a huge pain point was, and it just comes from me doing this grassroots. And again, not having the example outside of mentors, you know, and stuff now, you know, but in the beginning, you don't know that you need all those things. I was truly grassroots, but not having the business background, because you can only do business on on certain levels based off your knowledge.
That's the truth.
You know what I mean? So I was doing big business, very big, heavyweight business, but I didn't have business knowledge, like the business degree, the accounting, being able to project, being able to see where you're losing money. If I saw money, I thought I had money. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So not really knowing how to look at your numbers and how important your numbers are. Your numbers aren't everything, but they don't lie.
Right.
You know, so being able to understand, you know, all of those reports, financial reports, and how to see when something's a good opportunity and when it's not, and when you need to transition. I didn't have the business knowledge for that. And I'm sitting in rooms and I'm having conversations with guys that have big contracts with me, and I still have mom and pop knowledge. You know what I mean? So that caused me to make a whole lot of mistakes, none of which took me out ever. To God be the glory. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I call it tuition now. You know what I mean? So when I make mistakes, especially ones that cost me a lot, I just call it tuition. That's tuition.
Yeah.
I learned that lesson.
Paying for the cost of learning.
Yeah. So I'm working on, alongside working on my doctoral in nursing practice, but I'm also working on my MBA as well at the same time. So yeah. So yeah, you know.
So you like school?
I like knowing. I don't like to not know. I don't like to fail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't like not knowing.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to have it. You know what I'm saying? So
Understood. So what inspired you to write I Got It?
Once I saw how easy school had become, it was kind of like, I got it. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, I got my 80 in, it's LPN in 2011, but I got my 80 in 21. Because all this time I'm doing big business, so it's like I don't need it, you know, and I just wasn't thinking about it, you know. But I didn't want to leave what I started incomplete. You know what I'm saying? So I got my 80 in 21. I got my BSN in 22. Got my MSN in 23. So last year, and now working on the DNP. But when I saw how easy, or how fluent, not easy, but how fluent it became, because I realized I was now in the path of purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you can tell it's fluent.
Yeah.
You know, when we're following our passions, if it's not lined up with your purpose, you're going to reach those, you know, resistance and bumps and hurdles, you know, because human ambition will fool you, right? So I realized I was in my purpose, and my divine purpose at that point, and that's why school became fluent, you know, for me, and growing and expanding became fluent in that area. And the book is set up in a way where there's 3 parts of I Got It. You know, the first part, and I don't know if you got it when you read it, but the first part just talks about having the it factor. I got it. Like you can have the it, you can have the grace to do a thing and never move forward. You know what I'm saying? So being able to identify that you even have the grace to do a thing, that's important. So that's the first part of the book. The second part is actually talking about the actual my nursing degree, you know, and finally getting, you know, my license as a RN. And then the last part of the book talks about the revelation. I got it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I had to fight like that.
Yeah.
That's why God had to tell me no. That's why I couldn't get comfortable there. That's why, you know what I mean? Like, I got it. Now I understand why, you know, so that's, you know, the flow of the book and the purpose of it, the foundational themes of it. But yeah, when I realized how easy, or how fluent things flow when you're in purpose, you know, so that's what the book birthed from.
So what keeps you from knowing that you're at your pinnacle? Because, like, which business did you open first, and what said, let's do this next, let's do that next?
Health Systems of South Carolina, which is not even on there. That's what I started first.
Okay.
And that was case management. And that was a contract that we had with Humana up until COVID. And then I tapped into contracts with the state, and, so that's where it started with case management. And then there was an opportunity financially. It was just a more fiscal, better opportunity to go into home care and home care and skilled nursing. So I turned Health Systems of South Carolina into HSSC, which stands for Health Systems of South Carolina.
Gotcha.
HSSC Home Care. So that was the very first one.
Okay.
And Health Systems was the first one. And I've just been adding on, after that we tapped into real estate.
Okay.
So
was that always an aspiration of?
no, but I love homes. I love looking at homes. I love as a hobby, just riding, looking at homes. You know what I mean? I love nice things. I love, houses. So that's kind of where it started.
Okay.
So that's where the interest started. I wanted to learn more about it.
Gotcha.
And then I got tired of people asking me, well, you going to open a brokerage? So I went on to broker school and I opened a brokerage and we grew astronomically.
Wow.
Blue Realty and Associates. It started out with Blue Realty and Associates, and we grew astronomically. Of course, real estate has done this and done that,
Right.
and the thing about real estate is, everybody sees what they think, are great results, and everybody want to jump in it, and everybody want to get licensed until it's time to show 20 and 30 houses,
Trust me,
and
I
your
know.
client don't close.
I got a license in 2021, and I was like,
Let me find out.
Girl, listen, said, at this time, this cannot be my primary focus. I got to have a paycheck coming in. And you know how that is in real estate. I'm still licensed. I'm just on a referral basis now with them.
Okay.
Because I eventually want to invest. So I want to stay tapped in. But, yeah, you ain't got to tell me. I'm like.
Right. Everybody went running to get a license,
You got to meet them, rain, snow, sleet, or shine, if they want to see this house, and you want to do an open house, and you got to put signs on the road.
Yeah, and you got to hope they close. You got to hope they don't go buy furniture the week
Right.
before closing.
Right. So, I understand, and I didn't. So that was interesting to me that you started out in healthcare, but then tapped into real estate and kept pursuing it and climbing. So, is there anything in you that says this is the pinnacle?
Meaning,
Yeah.
So my kids get this conversation almost every day, at least once a week. Sis tired. Okay. Sis is tired. I need for y'all to figure out what you're going to do, because I'm probably going to start selling some stuff in a minute. I really am exhausted, because it's not physical fatigue, it's mental fatigue.
Yeah.
Because it's me. Everything is me. That is also the other thing that I know that I would do differently is I wouldn't have 10 glasses trying to pour in all 10 simultaneously. You know what I mean? I would do one glass at a time. So my middle son, Brian, he is me to the 20th power. Okay. And so I have to constantly bring him back. Like, son, I'm not going to let you make the mistakes that I made, because he has the grace, he has the gift. He's already licensed 3 states, about to be licensed in insurance. Like, you're 18. Stop. Calm
18,
down. Yes, ma'am. Me times 20, so he's taking over real estate. And my daughter, actually both girls are in nursing school. And then my son, my baby boy, he's graduating high school this year, and he's going to nursing school. So hopefully they'll take over healthcare,
okay.
But I'm already planning.
Yeah.
And that's something too that we talk about when I'm teaching the ladies from an entrepreneurial standpoint. When you start, you want to start out planning your exit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll constantly be there, and you won't ever leave it.
Right.
It won't ever be self-sufficient to be able to sustain without you.
Right.
So I didn't do that. So learning those things, I made a lot of mistakes and a lot of pain points, but they were growing pains.
Yeah.
That I'm able to teach now and guide my kids. But now I'm still open to get the bag. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. We still getting that bag now.
Still getting the bag.
But I've committed not to do anything else by myself. So if it's not a partnership, I'm here all day long for partnerships. But
So let me put a pin right here.
Okay.
'Cause, I feel like I tell people now, I guess I had a whole temper tantrum in 2022 because I was like, Lord, if I got to do anything else with just me and me, everything I do, I'm not doing it. So we're gonna put a pause on this. We're gonna put a pause on this. We're gonna put a pause on this. And I don't want to do nothing else.
Right.
Until you send me some help.
Right.
And then after about a year, he was like, are you done with your temper tantrum?
Yeah.
So do you feel at liberty, like, so what if God says to you as you're leaving here today, I need you to XYZ?
Listen, I'm tell you like I tell my homegirls, if I don't hear it with my audible ear, I'm talking about this ear on my head. I need to hear.
Right ear.
It got to be the ear on my head. It can be right or left, but it need to be a sound, okay? Like when he said, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased, I need to hear that voice.
Okay.
It need to be that sound. Because again, and I talk about this a lot. And anybody that follows my ministry especially, they know that I'm very adamant about us understanding that purpose is not the same as your passion always. And human ambition will mess you up. You know what I'm saying? If the Lord tells me to feed my neighbor, make sure my neighbor eats all year long with me, you know, human ambition, especially when we're good people, human ambition is say, you know what, God, I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to feed the whole neighborhood. Won't we do it? Right? Yeah. And we think we're helping God. We think we're doing it. We think, you know, and it's really just human ambition because in the next 3 months or maybe 4 months, now you're completely out of food. Right. You ain't eating and your neighbor not either.
Right.
Human ambition is why you're burnt out. You see what I'm saying? Human ambition is why you're tired. You know what I'm saying? Human ambition is why you're spinning your wheels, you know? So I had to get to the point that, you know, I remind myself of that scripture that says, write the vision and make it plain, plain enough so that runners can run with it. And at a point in time, although it may seem like it's tarrying, you'll get there. However, the vision that God is talking about, he's talking about the vision that Habakkuk had in the dream, not what Habakkuk envisioned for himself. He's telling him to write down what I showed you. Right? Yeah. So, you know, when I sit down with really anybody, you know, but when I sit down with the ladies, you know, going through our curriculum and I ask, what's your purpose? Well, I like to this. I like to cook. Well, I like to, you may like to, you may be graced and gifted to do, but what is that thing in the earth God purpose and planted you here to do? Yes. Because that's what's going to sustain you. That's what's gonna make room for you, and that's what's gonna push you out the bed when you're, you know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna your why. That's what your why needs to be, you know, because when your will ain't there, your why needs to be able to continue to push you. So, helping them to identify that. So I said all of that to say, I've gotten to the point that I have to remember, okay, where's my purpose at in this? Because we can be drawn by increase, the bag, progress, influence, applause, all of those things, you know, they make us want to go, but the only thing that you can do and do it fluently and with peace is purpose. Is that purpose. So knowing that, you know, and I'm just at the point in my life, which 44 isn't that old, you know. I still think I'm a baby.
Don't say that because I'm about to have a birthday. So yeah, 44 is not.
Yeah, I'm about to be 45. Yeah, but I'm still at the place in my life where peace.
Oh yeah,
surpasses everything. I'ma have peace. Yeah, I'ma have peace. Peace. So yeah.
So and I love that you keep saying that purpose and passion are not the same thing, and that's one of the things that you teach the ladies through your program. So we've identified that your purpose is to build women from the inside out. So when you consider outside of building businesses, building women, and even your children, what is it that you're passionate about?
Growth. So whether it's growth in people. Like, for instance, if I'm teaching something, to see somebody's light bulb come on, you know, they've grown in an area that just drives me, man. You know, seeing growth in, you know, even myself. you know, and the maturity and some of the things that I used to do and used to be, you know, passionate about or think was it. You know, I can look back now and say, ooh, you know what I mean? That's growth. Being able to see my kids do well and, you know, 'cause I have awesome kids and everybody's doing well. They're not perfect kids. Nobody's perfect. But they are amazing kids and they're all living their best lives. And, you know what I mean? Being able to see my baby boy go from completely introverted and just a video game junkie, not going to do anything basketball to the last 2 years, you know, and now he has the opportunity to play college ball. You know what I'm saying? He's brand new playing organized ball. And, you know, so seeing him grow athletically, you know, as a man, a young man, just seeing all of that, I just growth does it for me, you know? So if I'm at work and something as simple as a project, you know, getting completed, that's why I was almost late today. You know what I'm saying? You know, just seeing the growth of something, you know, come together and progress, that just, you know, it may sound crazy, but
no, I get it.
Me.
I'm a software consultant by profession, and I've been training people for years, and that is the thing that keeps me in there, because when you can teach somebody something and you can see that they got it and then they can run with it, it's like it is a feeling of satisfaction that comes with that.
Yeah, because you're making somebody better. When I teach part-time clinicals at ECPI, I always tell those students at the end of the day, I want to know two things. I want to know what you got from today, but I also want to know what did you do or how did you leave this unit and this patient better than you found them. You know what I mean? Just leaving people better and making people better. I'm passionate about that. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's a room full of 5 people, whether it's me or you, whether it's 5,000, they still gonna get all the Tracie J. You know what I'm saying? Because I just want people to be better.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So when I consider Life Speaks, you know, it's all over. It is my personal life mantra and the title of my first book, because for me, I have been able to see God do some phenomenal things in my life that if I tried to sit down and write the script, I couldn't have written it as good, whether it was what seemed like a chance encounter or an opportunity that I wasn't looking for. It's just something unfolded unexpectedly, and it was all God. So when you look back over your journey, do you have a notable moment that you know was divine providence, or what I would call a Life Speaks moment, because you couldn't have wrote the script to make it happen the way God did it?
Most certainly nursing school in that whole situation. That just probably is pivotal. You know what I'm saying? For me, because it activated, you know, not just my grace to get it out the mud, you know, not only that, but it also activated my faith. You know, entrepreneurship is a faith walk. You know, it activated so much. You know, the ability to learn to manage and not depend, you know, on others, having to think ahead, you know, having to be a planner, you know, so it just activated so much.
Yeah, I get it. Him squashing what you thought you wanted to shift you to where he needed you.
Because, you know, we got our plans, but the Lord orders our steps. It's Bible. You know what I'm saying? So, and we can't know what it is, because like I said, I think even if I would have had a glimpse, I don't know that I would have had the faith to still trust him to walk in it. Right. And it's heavy. You know,
I understand.
I share the little. I share this example of how my grandmother, she knows airplanes can take people, you know, from point A to point B. She knows that, right? She knows that they do it safely. She knows that, but she doesn't have faith in one enough to get on one for herself. You know, so I don't know that I would have even had the faith level, even if God would have given me a choice. Now I can give it to you now, or I can give you this later. I don't know. I would have, you know, if I really would have had the faith to walk in it then. So God had to say, okay,
number one and been like, God,
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. She gonna pout, but yeah, I got something bigger.
Wow, I love it. So before I ask you how people can get in contact with you, as well as I'm going to ask you to share what may be on your heart to encourage other women trying to build business, or other women trying to leave a legacy for their children, whichever space you want to speak from. I always like to ask my guests, because I love music, if you had to name a song that describes this season of your life.
Oh, Tammy. You should have told me that one ahead of time.
That's the one I like to save and reserve, because everybody be like, yeah, just whatever. And it could be something that's your go-to right now because it's getting you through this season, or, you know, maybe a song title jumps out at you to describe this season. I can give you a moment.
Girl, me against the world. The world as in the inner me.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really listen to music a lot as much now, because when I'm riding, it's either I'm on the phone, handling some business, or a podcast or a lecture, so I don't really listen a whole lot. Man, that's a good question, though. That's a good question. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about that more.
Message me or text me when you
Yeah, I need to think through that, because I want to be intentional concerning that.
Okay. Understood. So how do you decompress when you are not saving the world? How do you attend to Tracie and make sure that mentally and emotionally, physically, she's good? How do you decompress?
Prioritizing, and I don't do a very good job of that. I'm doing a better job of it now because I had a little health scare about a month ago. And so I'm doing a better job, because at the end of the day, what we don't manage, we'll always chase. So if we don't manage money, we're going to chase money. If we don't manage time, we're going to chase time, So learning to prioritize. I'm actually an extreme introvert, believe it or not. People say, yeah, right. But I am. I'm very introverted. So I have a lot of time at home, by myself, but being out and about, it just drains me. So having to put boundaries, in place. You don't have to be on every scene. Every invite is not a yes. So being really intentional and prioritizing. We look around now and people are leaving here left and right for different reasons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It is the truth.
You don't have time to not be intentional concerning it. So I decompress by putting my phone on Do Not Disturb. I do that earlier now than later. And
so do you relax by, like, are road trips relaxing?
Yes, because I stay on the road. I enjoy watching my boys play basketball and high school basketball, college basketball. Cam's overseas and playing professional ball now. So
so that's relaxing for you?
It is.
Okay. So you ain't one of them rah-rah mamas on the side?
Real bad. Okay, like the kids say, real bad. Okay, listen, real bad. But just to be a part of that, because they're doing what they love, and I know that's what they love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So being able to witness that, and like I said, watch their growth. So between that, sometimes I Netflix. I will Netflix, but I love traveling.
Okay.
Yeah, water, anything water.
Yes, I'm a beach person too.
Yeah.
Okay, so how can we get your book? How can a woman contact you if she's interested in being a part of your program? What is the best way to connect with you for anything? Or if anybody happens to be looking for a job.
Listen, because we are hiring. Woo, that's a lot of connecting. So let's just do this. You can reach me at on any platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Not any of the other ones. I'm not on Snapchat and all of that. But I am Tracie J. You will find me, and that's TRACIEJ. The book is available now on Amazon. You can either get an ebook or a hard copy, paperback. But yeah, I am Tracie J. You can hit me up in the DM. You can send an email, traciej@iamtraciej.com. My website, www.iamtraciej.com. You can reach me there as well. You can schedule a discovery moment where we can kind of sit down and talk and chit chat and kind of see where you are and how I can be of service to you. So that's also on the website, www.iamtraciej.com.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. So, whatever you would like to say to encourage, inspire women choosing to be entrepreneurs, or maybe a woman on a journey that has gotten some no's, or a mother that is fighting to leave a legacy. So whatever is on your heart to share with those that are watching, if you would look to that camera and give some words.
Well, I want to talk to that mother that wants to leave a legacy. And the reason why I'm choosing that aspect is because, like I mentioned earlier, I'm in that season of my life looking, and watching my children grow and hoping and wishing that I had imparted certain things into them earlier. And I had a moment about maybe 2 years ago where I realized that my grandfather was the original boss before me, and I did not know that, and that was a pivotal, I won't tell the story, but that was a pivotal moment for me, because I couldn't figure out, why am I getting it out the mud if he was bossing like he's bossing, right? And that is because in that moment I realized he passed down the land but not the legacy. He passed down the land, but not the legacy. So as mothers, we have to make sure that we pass down legacy and not just land. Meaning we don't, we want our kids to always have more and better than what, we had. But sometimes the legacy is within the lessons that they learn, the scrapes that they get when they fall, So, don't protect those babies to death. And I don't mean that physically, and I said that earlier, but I mean regarding their maturity, their ability to grow, to expand, to become themselves, to experience life. I know it's 2024, so we can't be too free, but make sure that you focus on not just giving them things and possessions, but making sure they know the legacy of working hard, the legacy of understanding that nobody's going to give you anything in life. Mama loves you, but you got to learn how to live, because mama won't be here forever. So, pass down the legacy, not just the land.
That is good. That is good. Thank you again. This has been good. This has been good. I thoroughly enjoyed getting to know some more about you and chatting with you. So, I appreciate you taking out your time. I know this is going to be beneficial to men and women and children, whoever watches this, because you dropped some amazing nuggets. So thank you for sharing who you are. Thank you for giving us a bit of Tracie J.
Absolutely.
Tonight. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Remember to, if you're following me on Facebook, to share this video, because the link to it will be there, as well as follow me on IG. There are more amazing segments coming up, so stay connected. And until next time, thank you for watching.